This is Emma for the University of ADHD podcast. And today I'm going to be talking about study tips for students with ADHD. Studying can be difficult if you've got ADHD, whether diagnosed or not. Planning, prioritising, starting, maintaining focus, remembering what to do, and finishing tasks can be problematic. You may feel that you're doing everything last minute or the whole thing is too overwhelming. Here's 5 tips to help. Number 1, get a diary, a planner, and use your phone. You're basically going to have to give yourself as many reminders as possible. Set aside time each day and week to update your diary, your planner, and your phone. Having a planner on the wall can be really helpful because it's visually there right in front of you, and make sure you put on important dates, assignment deadlines, everything on there. You can colour code it to make it easier to understand. Plus, have a timetable, and by this I mean a timetable of life with everything on it. So this should be a weekly timetable, and it should include your lectures and workshops at college or uni, any independent study time, meetings, work if you've got a job, social activities, volunteering, sports teams that you're involved in, anything like that. Put everything on there. And make sure you've got it available on your phone so you've got it to follow you around. You can take a photo of it or set notifications and reminders on your phone. You can use a calendar or time management app. If you do, sync this to other devices or your email, and that's even better because then you only have to update it once and it'll sync to your other devices. Don't just rely on your phone, because what if you forget to charge it? Or what if you lose it? With ADHD, you're prone to do both of these things. So having paper versions and electronic versions can be really helpful. Number 2, use the Pomodoro Technique. Pomodoro Technique helps you to focus for short bursts of time, making it easier to stay on task. It's a great way to make use of independent or self-directed study time. So you get yourself a timer, ideally like a kitchen timer rather than using your phone, because your phone can distract you. So you set it for 25 minutes and you get to work. When the timer goes off, set it for 5 minutes and have a 5-minute break. This is 1 Pomodoro. So that's the 25 minutes work, 5-minute rest. And then you repeat that so that you do 4 of these. So that breaks 2 hours up into 4 sections. If you have a longer study session, after these 4 are finished, have a longer break for about 30 minutes and then do another 4 Pomodoros. So it's work for 25 minutes, rest for 5, 4 times, half an hour rest, then work for 25 minutes, rest for 5 minutes, 4 times. Number 3, consistency is key. Make sure that you're sticking to your schedule, attending all of your lectures and actually studying during your self-directed study times. This can be really difficult. Even if you're not feeling it and you don't feel like studying or going to lectures, push yourself to do it. You might not get everything done that you wanted to, but any progress is better than none. You can set reminders to go off every now and then, which remind you of what it is that you're supposed to be doing, in case your attention has drifted off elsewhere or you've accidentally started doing something else. If you've got a smartwatch or fitness tracker, you can set it to give you a subtle little buzz periodically to remind yourself to pay attention in lectures. And one way of doing that is to get it to remind you if you've been sat still for 10 minutes, and it gives you that buzz to tell you to get up. But in this case, the buzz is to keep your attention on what the person's saying in the lecture. Putting some of your favourite music on and doing some exercise before you start can help you to bring up your energy levels and help you to focus. Exercise is really good at helping getting you to focus. So it's a good idea to do it first thing in the morning or before you do some independent study. This does get easier the more you do it, as it's all about habit formation. Number 4, break things down and set goals. A big task can be overwhelming and it can be difficult to know when to start. You can ask your tutor, learning mentor, or subject librarian for advice on how to lay out your assignment and what needs to go in it. Make notes on your assignment brief to remind you of what they've told you and to give you an idea of what's involved in each section. Then think about what needs to be done first, such as an introduction, or maybe you need to do some research first. Then create a list of smaller tasks to do in order to complete the assignment and spread these out over the amount of sessions you've got until the final deadline, and try to make sure your first draft is finished well before the deadline so you've got time to make tweaks and adjustments. For each study session, set no more than 3 goals to avoid overwhelm, and so you've got a chance of actually completing them. You then get that sense of achievement when you've finished them, and that's more likely to encourage you during the next session. If you do finish early and you've still got time, you can look at the next task on the list that needs to be done for your assignment and get started on that. Number 5, get a study buddy. Body doubling is where you're doing the same task as somebody else who is present in the room with you or on a video call. Even just having somebody else there can be effective. You're more likely to get things done with ADHD if somebody is there doing it with you. Make sure you tell the person what your goals are for the session for accountability. You're more likely to get it done if you've told somebody what you're going to do and they're there with you. If you'd like to join my dopamine camp for students where you'll learn how to get the most out of your ADHD brain, text dopamine to the number in the description or email emma at rethink-adhd.co.uk. In the next episode, I'm going to look at ways of beating insomnia and getting a good night's sleep. I'll see you next time.